Hey friends and neighbors, it is Josh coming to you with the Tarot Snapshot. I do this every once in a while. This is a roughly 10-minute tarot reading that I bring to folks on all of the social media platforms, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, all that good stuff. So what this is, it's a 3-card reading that shows us who we are in the moment, what vexes and perplexes us, and what heals and reveals. The big message, I think, that's part of this week's Tarot Snapshot goes right along with the deck that I'm using. So if you take a look at the cover of that deck, this is the Mystical Medleys tarot deck. And I love it because it has, an old cartoony, timey-wimey feel. I'm a big believer in what I call vitamin joy. Vitamin joy. We have to get joy in like a vitamin, because if we don't, our hearts and our minds and our spirits will grow bitter and jaded and judgy and bitchy. And I can't tell you how important it is to not die and look back on a precious life and realize that you spent most of it bitchy. We need joy like a vitamin, and I hope to give you a little bit of that today. So let's dive into it. I'm going to shuffle the deck 5 times. And as I shuffle the deck, just think about the things in your life that you take in like a vitamin. A lot of people like vitamin C by going to the ocean. A lot of people like live music. I particularly like live music. I love horseback riding. I don't get that enough. Things like that. Because the world will inevitably hand us all pain and turmoil and chaos. It's unavoidable in this life. It will come to us without asking. Joy is not something that will come to us without asking, not most often. So, a 22-minute episode of The Golden Girls goes a long way to curing some of our blahs. Let's take a look at where we're at collectively. 7 of Pentacles. Boy, oh boy, it's been hot recently. I'm not a big fan of the heat. Here we have somebody toiling at the efforts of their life. We see the pentacles like fruit growing on a vine, and we see a person standing there with a garden implement, a rake, a hoe, or what have you. I always take this card as somebody who's appreciating everything that goes into this equation. The sand, the soil, the sun, the water, the nutrients, the seeds, all of it. But they often don't take appreciation for themselves, because none of that would have happened without that person. So if you can take stock of your life and be happy and proud of what you've built, remember that you had a role in that. The Pentacles also have taught me the lesson of patience, that patience is something that we need in this earthly realm. You go to the gym, you got to work out for 12 weeks before you see a shift. You plant a seed, you got to wait a certain amount of time before it sprouts and it grows into a healthy, robust, fruitful plant. Patience doesn't mean complacence, though. We till the soil, we weed, we water, we fertilize, we do all the things that's necessary to grow healthy, robust fruits. Remember to be patient with yourself, but don't be complacent. The card that vexes and perplexes us, the 6 of Pentacles. Okay, so the 6 of Pentacles, well, this card is all about balanced and reciprocal relationships. Sometimes we give too much of ourselves in places where we shouldn't. I like to think of this card as reminding me of the mantra that goes, serve ourselves, not at the expense of others. Serve others, not at the expense of ourselves. But how many of us fall down that slippery slope or that rabbit hole where we want to overexert ourselves, prove ourselves to other people, show up for other people, carry burdens that are not necessarily ours, so we can prove our worth to ourselves, to the universe, to other people? That's not necessarily a healthy way to go about our lives, because it's about sustainability. If we serve others at our own expense, how long is it before we have a breakdown or a nervous breakdown or we're burnt out? See where we're going with this? Okay, we've got to work and toil in our lives. This person needs, a good barn dance when they're done working in the garden. They have to take care of themselves. They have to keep their relationship with themselves, with their responsibilities with other people, balanced and reciprocal. But sometimes we do have to serve others at our own expense. Sometimes we're overworked, and sometimes the people around us do require us to show up in ways that are not necessarily healthy for us. Let's take a look at what heals and reveals. What's our guidance card? The Three of Wands. All right, so we see a person here on a cliff looking at ships coming in. We reap what we sow. We reap what we sow. Now, I'm going to pound on my chest a little bit here, toot my own horn. I take what's called an old man walk every day. I have a goal for the month of June. I have been devoting an hour of my day. Remember, an hour is just 4% of our day. An hour a day to go on a 3-mile walk. About 20 minutes a mile, go on a 3-mile walk. I've taken a couple days where I've banked in a couple extra miles because I know a day or two I won't be able to get that walk in. I have a goal of 90 miles in June. That's my goal for myself. I want to be healthy physically. It's so good for my mental health. It gives me time to touch base, find 4-leaf clovers, do all the fun stuff that helps me manage my life, because my life to a particular level is tough. But I'm not special in that way. Your life is tough. Our life is tough. Getting through this world as it is pretty tough for most of us. Working, housework, friends, all of it. We could go on and on about how tough some relationships are just from an energetic level. It requires energy. So, what do I want to get out of my life? I have developed that old man walk because I want to be an old man. You know where I came up with that? I used to work so hard when I had a marketing business. I used to get up in the morning and just go right to work. Make coffee, wake up, laptop. Wouldn't take care of myself. I burnt myself out. I did not give myself what I needed. I had a breakdown, several of them along the way, before I figured out, hey, it doesn't matter how much work you have. It doesn't matter how many emails you have. Go for the goddamn walk. Take care of yourself. Eat good food. Move your body in ways that are joyful. Go out and get nature, because that helps me not have a breakdown. That helps me to show up and be present for my clients, for my family, for my community, in all the ways that I need to be. We reap what we sow. What kind of ships do you want to have come back into your life? Remember that. What kind of life do you want to have in general? What kind of life do you want to look back on when you're at the end of it? So I'm going to ask you to get yourself some vitamin joy. Not with any guilt, not with any shame, but knowing that it is sustaining you so you can show up and be the best version of yourself. Take it from me. We need it. I speak from experience. Those terms, vitamin joy, old man walk, those are things that I have come up with through experience and through my connection to spirit. So take it from a person who's walked the walk, and take it from a person who's talking the talk. Take care of yourself so you can take care of other people. Take care of yourself so you can enjoy this life to the fullest. We need you here. So that's our tarot snapshot. Keep sweating away, keep toiling away, but give yourself what's necessary to get through it. And make sure that you're not giving too much to people that don't deserve it or aren't worthy. All my love to you. Thank you for being here, and I hope you get something out of this. I'll see you at the next one.